Hello. Look at me. I'm so lucky that I get to do this again. That I get to go on this little walk and talk to you and really start this video series. So this is going to be video 1 of the Uncomfortable Awakening, where before we talk about, I want to tell you about like my spiritual journey and what I believe is happening here from a more zoomed out perspective. Really lighting that light of hope that good things will come of this. And before I talk about how we're complicit and how justice is already being served and how we can serve justice in our physical lives and also in our spiritual lives, I want to talk about I want to ask you really, and I want you to think about how has your body been feeling with all of this? Because even if you aren't reading headlines, I feel like we're still feeling it. I feel like if you go to the post office or you're standing in line to get a coffee, everybody's body is on a higher alert because of everything that's happening right now. And even if we do create those boundaries for ourselves, which I want to talk about that today, because I too need it, just like you. I am definitely not preaching from my soapbox here. I am really wanting to talk about this so I can remind myself as well, is we still feel it, even if we have those boundaries in place. And so what can we do to help our bodies be able to feel restored so we can tackle this beast, so we can rise above it as a society and a community, so we don't become the darkness that is being exposed right now? How can we still be the light? How can we still hold that beacon of hope when it feels like darkness is all around us and above us and below us, and not letting it come within us, right? Like, that's real. And so that's what I want to talk about today. And before I do, I just so the first video, somehow I uploaded it to YouTube and made it public before I was planning on it. And the very first comment was something political about our president and why am I not talking about that? And I just want to say this because with all that's been happening in the world, there has definitely been a part of me that have been so thankful that I do not have a platform, quote unquote, because there is so much pressure to have to comment on everything. And even if you don't comment, you get in trouble. And I just want to throw this out there. I am not starting this series to talk about politics. I understand how effed up everything is right now. I get it. It's hard. And I feel like what I'm called to talk about is the higher perspective of all of this, how we can stay rooted and grounded in ourselves and our everyday lives and still feel good despite all of this stuff going on, because we cannot let the darkness consume us. And that's really what I want this series to be about. I don't want to have to feel like I'm being pressured to talk about a side. I don't think really anyone wants to feel that pressure. And I'll actually talk more about that when I talk about my spiritual journey and, exploring religion and feeling that own pressure of having to choose. And I think there's nuance. I believe there's nuance, and I think we're all more alike than we realize. And we all believe more of the same things that we realize. And so, I just want to throw it out there because I just saw that first comment and I was like, what? I'm just doing what I'm feeling called to do. And so anyway, I want you to think about how your body has been feeling over the last few weeks. If I was to ask you on a scale of 0 to 10, stress, how are you feeling going to bed? How are you feeling waking up? And how are you feeling in the middle of the day? Is that line continuing to just move up and up and up? Are you waking up stressed out, right? That's real. Are you going to bed stressed out? Because if we can find moments to bring ourselves back down, back into this moment, It's going to really help us regenerate our bodies so we're not completely burnt out and create the change that we all want, because we are all so disgusted over what we're seeing and hearing right now. And so, yes, change is good. Yes, we want change. Yes, we want justice, all of those things, but we can't do that if we are completely burnt out. And I know for me, that shows up as being really impatient, being really snippy, and then wanting a break, a quote unquote break, and then opening up my phone for a break, and then reading another headline and coming out more stressed out. And so the break not helping, the break hurting. And so creating some of those boundaries, those digital boundaries for yourself. Maybe, you know what I did? I heard that if you make your phone in grayscale, like black and white, that it's way less addicting. So I did that. I'm not fully gray because I'm actually a very visual person and all my apps are color coded. So there's like a little dial and you can turn it up or down. So it's not fully on grayscale, but it is, it's not as bright and colored. And also putting limits on apps just to like help me protect myself, from my addiction to my phone, because right, the emotional manipulation is real. And even the smartest people fall for it. And so it's like you have to put those things in place. And also I sleep with my phone under my bed. And so I have found that I've just naturally not woken up and grabbed my phone. So that's made a huge difference. Like I'll even go like an hour or two and be like, oh, I gotta go to my bedroom and get my phone. So putting some of those boundaries in place. And at the end of this video series, I'm gonna invite you into a 7-day soul reboot. If you'd like to join, we're gonna talk more about those gentle digital boundaries, because yeah, I think we have to do this for ourselves if we really want change. What's going on here, Maggie? This is Maggie. Have I not introduced you? Can I say hi, Maggie? That's Maggie. She's cute. I'm on the ski mountain. I just want to make sure there's no skiers coming. Okay, go ahead. So something else that happened over the last few weeks is I think I talked about that. I have had this huge stye in my eye. And it was an upper lid stye versus lower lid stye, whole different ballgame. Okay, I had a black eye for like a whole week, and then I was talking to like a spiritual mentor of mine, and she's like, "Yeah, your body is trying to metabolize all of this." And she was talking about how her ears have been feeling really off and weird. We're hearing things that we don't want to hear. We're seeing things that we don't want to hear or see. Like our bodies are taking the hit, so it's important for us to be tending to our bodies the way that we need to create the change that we want in the world. Like, this is so important. It starts with us. We have to be doing this ourselves. She's so excited. We have to be doing this ourselves. We have to be taking care of ourselves first before we start demanding justice from other people. And so it all starts with coming back to our body. And obviously, if you've been around me for a while, she has no one to play with, so she is going to chase her tail. Wildly Alive Weight Loss, my 13-year-old business that I was called to shut down, like that's what this was all about. So that's where we're going to start. And I will tell you that I am not like doing well at this. I am coming to you imperfectly, like just saying like, let's do this together. I also stopped working out. I was starting to work out and do really heavy lifting because apparently it's really good, like perimenopause season of life. And like bone density and like that release was so good for me. And like the last week and a half, I haven't done that. And so prioritizing that, putting that into my schedule. How can you tend to your body? How can you put it into the schedule? How can you create digital boundaries for yourself so you're not quote unquote taking a break by scrolling because it's not working? That's not a break. That's contributing to your overwhelm, to your anxiety, to your shortness, to your impatience, to your body constantly being in fight or flight. What can you do? I want to hear from you below in the comments. Social accountability. What are some things that you are going to do to anchor yourself back into the present moment? And right, that's what I have been called, that like really teach on with Wildly Alive, is trying to live more presently, because when I closed my business, I realized how deeply uncomfortable I felt not working, not being busy. And that busyness floated into like keeping my house tidy. And then I'm like, I just really can't, like stillness is my word for this year. So I'm really trying to come back to that. I was really doing good practicing it, but the last month or so, so let's end this video here. Let's end this video doing a quick practice, getting back into the moment. So how you do that is very easy. You engage your senses. So let's just take a deep breath. You can put your hand on your heart. Come back to your breath. Feel your feet on the floor. Feel your butt on the seat. Name a few things you can hear right now. Name a few things you can see right now in your physical environment. Can you feel the breath enter your nostrils? Can you feel the air making contact with your skin? Can you taste anything? Welcome to this moment. If we could commit together, you and me, to do that 3 times a day, before our feet hit the ground out of bed, in the middle of the day, after lunch, or in the bathroom, and then before we go to bed, I think it would make a bigger difference than you or I could even express. So let's start there. I will see you on video number 2. Bye. I just want to say one thing after I did that grounding technique. When we get our bodies back into this physical environment that we are in right now, it reminds our bodies that we are safe in this moment. In this moment, we are safe. We are okay right here and right now. Because the stress is often our mind scared that we're not safe in this moment. We're not safe in this moment. And so that grounding, engaging your senses really quickly, 10 minutes, reminds your body that in this moment I am safe. I am not being attacked. My livelihood is not threatened right this very second. So I can sit back and enjoy it. I can see the beauty. I can feel the beauty. That's how I'm feeling afterwards. How are you feeling?